going 7-9. Okay. I'm not going 7-9. I'm not going 7-9. I'm not going 7-9.
Welcome to the Grumbling Truth LA Rams 2.0 weekly show, brought to you by thegrumblingtruth.net and Gridiron Mo, an interesting new interactive football game app which pits you against other football fans across the country in predicting the next play within live NFL games. Think you're smarter than the average fan? See for yourself at Gridiron Mo through thegrumblingtruth.net or directly at gridironmo.com. My name is Oz Davis. I'll be your co-host on the Rams 2.0 show, and joining me as always is former Notre Dame, Buffalo Bills, and Los Angeles Rams great tight end Tony Hunter. How's it going, Tony?
Oh, I'm doing pretty well, Oz. Nice, beautiful day here in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay, now Tony says that he's doing well, but before we started the show, he was kind of grousing a little bit about the Rams and about.
I tell you what, it's been a frustrating season. It really has, because I tell you, the Rams are, we lost the opening game, and now we've lost 4 in a row. The situation with Jared Goff, and we just can't see anything going offensively. But Jeff Fisher, he refuses to make the change to Goff, and I think the fans are really impatient right now with that situation. And so I would say there's more going on off the field right about now than there is on the field for the Rams.
Yeah. We'll talk about Mr. Goff and Mr. Fisher a bit later in the show. It's interesting because before this season, we kind of treated this like an expansion team. This city has had a whole generation without football. We have not had a home team in, the 22, 23 years or whatnot before the return this year. But it's not. It's not an expansion team, or in this time, people even want immediate success out of an expansion team.
Right.
It would almost be better if this team were lovable losers. It would almost be better if this team were 2-14 team rather than another mediocre 7-9-1, 8-8. This kind of team. I don't know. What do you think?
Which has been the story for Jeff Fisher. I think his coaching career has basically been about average that way. Well,
yeah.
In actuality, and I don't think we would be doing our job if we didn't bring up the fact that Jeff Fisher is closing in on tying Tom Landry as the second all-time losingest coach in NFL history. I believe one more loss, and he'll tie Landry at 162 losses. Now, the difference being it took Landry a lot longer to lose that many games than it is Fisher. But, yeah, that's something that a lot of the press is talking about out in L.A. as far as Fisher closing in on that record with Tom Landry. And then I think he's only 4 losses away from becoming the all-time losingest coach, where Dan Reeves is that coach right now. But I think Fisher is just 4 losses away from tying Dan Reeves as the all-time losingest coach. And that's something the Rams have a big decision to make on whether or not they're going to keep Jeff Fisher.
Yeah. And it all ties in with Mr. Goff, I think. But let's talk a little bit optimistically really quick. You mentioned this to me before the show that you wanted to talk about this. Next week is the groundbreaking ceremony to begin construction on Stan Kroenke's mega $1 billion thing that he's making there in Inglewood.
Can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. $2.6 billion is what this thing is valued at. I think they have something like 20 architects that are going to be working on it. It's going to be beautiful. I think it's going to rival Jerry Jones' his palace there in Dallas. This thing is going to be unbelievable. And I think they're scheduled to break ground on it on Thursday of next week. And I believe the Super Bowl, they're scheduled to play the Super Bowl in that stadium in a few years.
It would have to be
that's good
because this thing isn't going to actually host a football game, I believe, even until 2019.
2019, yes.
Maybe 18, but I think it's 19. And so, I can imagine the Super Bowl being held there that year. I mean, they're going to have to do that. Every time they build a new stadium, they show it off. Oh yeah. And plus, bring people out to LA. Now, when the new mega stadium is built, Tony, you're going to come out here? You're going to come out here and see a game?
Oh, most definitely. I will. I think August 2019 is when the stadium will be opened, and the Super Bowl is actually scheduled to be played there February 2021. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I just wanted to get back to this really quick. In the meanwhile, I was looking up Tom Landry's record. Now, to go along with those 261 wins, he also had losses. He also had 350 wins. And
right.
Now, I don't believe Jeff Fisher has this many wins. I believe, in fact, Jeff Fisher has right around 260 wins.
Right, and Landry also has a few Super Bowls. You might add.
Yes. Now, to be fair, Jeff Fisher did, get into a Super Bowl. He did have competitive teams in Tennessee, but that was a long time ago. It's a lot about the longevity. And here's another thing, Belichick, here's a guy who's been coaching just about as long as Fisher in the NFL. He doesn't have that many losses. He didn't have
Right. And I can tell you, I played against Jeff Fisher at both while he was at USC and I was at Notre Dame, and I played against him when he was with the Bears as well. Nice guy. I think he's a good football coach. No doubt about it. He's a good football coach, but it's tough to win in the NFL. That's a tough thing to do.
Oh, sure. But isn't it tough, Tony? Because, I wanted to talk to you about the player's relationship to the coach. I mean, what happened to the players, amongst the players, when the coach makes an unpopular decision like we're going to stick with Case Keenum until we're eliminated from the playoffs?
There's a lot of grumbling that goes on, a lot of whispering that goes on inside that locker room. Why don't they put so-and-so in there? Why don't
Right.
Definitely some whispering going on right now.
I worry, especially these days, about these coaches with longevity. Again, Belichick's an exception. Kansas City coach is an exception out there. But it's tough. It's tough for these guys to keep the fire burning. It's tough for them to relate to another generation of players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, Fisher he hasn't lost touch of this locker room, right? But it's like he's not relating to some of these guys, I would guess.
Yeah, you know what? When you take a look, now Belichick would be the exception. I think he has a system in place to where guys can come in from any other team in the league, and they'll just have to adopt. Right. They have to adapt to Belichick's system. And then I think he has enough veteran leadership in that locker room. I think that's underestimated a lot of times. A lot of times when a guy gets 10, 12, 15 years in the league, you have some teams that they're ready to get rid of him. They figure his productivity is pretty much behind. His best years are behind him. But from my experience, when I was a rookie and even when I was with the Bills, I love the fact that having 12, 15-year veterans to kind of show you the way, to kind of let you know what to expect on games and things like that. And I think Belichick has that in place with a guy like Tom Brady, a veteran guy that can kind of show the young guys the way. So, and his system is in place, and guys just have to adapt to his system. And so, and that's where I think Belichick has continued to be successful, because he has that in his locker room.
It's a good point. But I think, the system, what it does is it makes your individual personalities irrelevant. And it makes a very boring team for the media, but that's important. You can't have the ego problems, or even, I dare say, even a superstar like Gurley, who's coming in with all of these expectations. You don't have that in New England. It's
right
out the window.
And you look at a guy like Corey Blunt. Corey Blunt was considered kind of a disgruntled guy in other places that he's been. He's been productive, but somewhat disgruntled. Man, he seems like he's never been happy with playing football right now under Belichick. And I would say the same thing for Bennett, the tight end. He was disgruntled in Dallas, disgruntled in Chicago, and now he gets to Belichick there in New England. It looks like he's having fun again. He said he's having fun. He said he's having the time of his life playing football right now.
Yeah. Well, I've said this on other podcasts here at The Grueling Truth. It's amazing how folks leave the Chicago team these days and just play havoc or somewhere else. I think there are bad things happening in Chicago right now. Oh, by the way, LeGarrette Blount. Corey Blunt is a little far back.
Right. I'm sorry. LeGarrette Blount. That's right.
Just giving you a hard time. Okay, so as I said about Tony saying at the top of the show, Rams, not always so easy to talk about this season. Last game, which seems like forever ago, guess what? Stop me if you've heard it before. Another disappointing game. At least the offense was able to break a 7-quarter touchdown-less streak by putting together 10 in the fourth quarter, but it just wasn't enough. And okay, so here we go. We have half a game again. Defense looks great. Sacks Cam Newton 5 times. We have our secondary back, Tremaine Johnson and LaMarcus Joyner are out there. They both got 4 tackles each. They're covering the receivers. Really nice job. And our offense does nothing. When is this team going to play a full game, Tony?
I tell you what, I've been waiting for it all year long, and I think we have an identity crisis with the offense. Gurley didn't carry the ball much at all, and he's really having a disappointing season right now. But I don't think it's his fault. I don't think it's all his fault. I don't think he's getting as many chances to carry the football, and it seems like we are just trying to force the issue as far as being able to throw the football. And I'm not so sure that we're a passing team, but we're a pass-heavy team right now, and it's not. We're not having a whole lot of success doing it right now. I think Gurley is probably the best weapon that we have on the offense, but we're not really utilizing him right now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this was the thing coming into this season, that the Rams were going to be a power-running team, which sounds completely antiquated in 2016. But teams like this season, teams like the Arizona Cardinals, the Buffalo Bills, the Miami Dolphins, have discovered that you can play a power run game, but you need some options at receiver. Look, Ryan Tannehill in Miami, he doesn't have much out there, but he does have options to throw to, and the result is Jay Ajayi is getting 200 yards a game. Right. And you look at our game against Carolina, Chase Keenum threw the ball 46 times. He was 27 of 46. We threw it 46 he threw the ball more than Aaron Rodgers, who doesn't have a running back. It's crazy, just crazy, that statistic.
Right, and then we only rushed the ball. We rushed the ball 17 times? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Because
are you kidding me? With a guy like Gurley, 17 times?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I just feel like we have an identity crisis right now, offensively. And
well, I hate to tell you, Tony, but it's going to be more of the same this week because here we've got the New York Jets. Now, this is a winnable game, except that, here we go. Here's their defense, right? Front seven is awesome. Secondary is weak and old. Okay?
Okay, right.
So, Gurley, again, he'll be lucky to get 15 carries this game. He'll be lucky to get 50 yards this game from what it looks like, and we're going to have to rely on the passing game. Are you going to be able to watch this one?
Yeah. I tell you, the Jets they're talented. That's a talented team. They've been up and down all year. They've been up and down. But like I said, I think that Jeff Fisher has the mindset that this is a passing team. And I don't know if it's the offensive line or what, but it seems like they've given up on Todd Gurley this year. And so
it's almost like they don't want to get him. They don't want him to get hurt for next season. At this point, it's like.
Well, if they don't turn it around here pretty soon, there might not be a next season for Jeff Fisher. The NFL, they say NFL stands for not so long, and the coaching ranks, all the player ranks, and they need to turn this thing around. Or that front office for the Rams, I believe, is going to start thinking about what are we going to have in place when we go to the new stadium, when we open up in the new stadium, and I don't think the situation that we have right now is something that would be acceptable to them. So some changes definitely have to be made.
Okay, so after the Pats game, we'll go back to the Pats game again. After the Pats game, I'm sitting here watching it in Orange County, so we get the local LA feed directly after the game. And they're interviewing, tailgaters, hardcore fans, season ticket holders here in Los Angeles after the game. And naturally, they're chanting, "We want Goff."
Right. You know what? I saw that. And they were not only, they were chanting, "We want Goff," but they had gotten to the point they were chanting, "We want Tim Tebow." So anybody but Chase Keenum right now they would take. And another thing, I noticed the fighting in the stands right now with Ram fans. There's more fighting, and they're actually saying that the LAPD, not only security there in the stadium, but LAPD has gotten involved to stop some of the fighting that's going on there. So that's an indication of the frustration the fans are feeling right now. They even started calling for Tim Tebow. So
yeah. This I really got to give a shout out to the fans this season because not only are they selling out outrageous amounts for a very mediocre team, but the conditions there apparently are terrible. It gets hot in there. I think that a lot of people in Los Angeles and Los Angeles area are kind of on edge socially anyway, let's say. So, this is not a great, the game one, they're running out of water. So what, people are drinking beer? That's not a great combination either. So, I give a shout out to them. But guys, let's try and, chill out a little bit. It's only football.
Yeah, I think back to the times when I was playing. I can remember certain stadiums, I would always see a fight. I can remember the Dogtown in Cleveland, there seemed to always be a fight there that would break out during the game. Philadelphia, seemed like any time that I went to Philadelphia, I would see a fight. But I don't remember anybody fighting or me seeing any fights during our home games with the Rams. But you could always count on a fight at the Dogtown and in Philadelphia.
Oh, sure. I'm sure Buffalo is like that. I wouldn't be surprised if Boston were like that. I mean,
right.
This is like old school stuff, right? But we're supposed to be the mellow city out here in Los Angeles, We're supposed to
right, exactly.
I guess the Lakers need to win a title, and then we'll all just kind of relax a little bit,
settle down a little bit. Yeah, but that's the fighting in the stands at Rams games is becoming a serious problem, and so.
All right. Well, let's hope that this situation settles down a little bit. Okay, Tony, we'll get you out of here. Let's nail you down though. Prediction on the Jets game?
On the Jets game, well, we've lost 4 in a row now, and it's kind of a do-or-die situation for us. We need to beat the Jets, and I think we can. I think it'll be a low-scoring affair.
Yes.
I'm going to take the Rams.
All right. Good deal, Tony. Now, I know this is the gruelingtruth.net, so I'm supposed to disagree with you, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna say the Rams squeak one out, but yeah, it's gonna be a close one.
It is. The Jets have been up and down this year. They've been up and down, and so the Rams. I mean, they're backed into a corner right now, so I think they'll come out fighting.
But the thing about the Jets and the edge that the Rams have is that this is a team that gives up a lot of interceptions. They fumble a lot. They don't convert on fourth downs. In other words, they're a turnover machine. They're number one in turnovers in the NFL. And, the Rams, after a couple of weeks of little injuries and whatnot, we have both our starting corners out there, both of our star corners, if I may say so, Johnson and Joyner. Like I said, they were 100% last week. They're our best players out there. I think, if the Rams can manage, maybe 3 interceptions, they'll win this game.
Yeah. And I guess the bright spot, Jared Goff is taking more snaps with the first team now, from what I hear. He's taking more snaps, and he's getting more comfortable with the offense. And I think if the Rams start to lose this game, and it looks like a lost cause for the season, and it's fast approaching that, Jared Goff may get in this game and may get his shot to play.
Wow. See, now that's a bold prediction.
Yeah,
that's a good pick. Okay.
They said that his reps have been really picking up the last couple of weeks, and he's running more plays in practice with the first team. So I think they're getting him ready to play. And if they're in a situation where they're losing, and the season is pretty much there's really not a whole lot to play for, I think they'll put him in the game. I think they'll start to play him. I think management will demand that they start to see what they have in Jared Goff, the number 1 pick in the entire draft last year.
Mm-hmm. Win or lose, I would love to see that, just because I want my curiosity sated. I want to see this guy finally in a Rams outfit, in a Rams uniform. I want to see this guy. So that would be great, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think a lot of pressure is being put on Jeff Fisher right now to play him, and I think it's going to happen here pretty soon.
Mm-hmm. All right, Tony, let's wrap it up. You can catch Tony Hunter over at, the Fighting Irish Weekly Show? Or is it
Irish Weekly with Tony Hunter.
Weekly Show, right, where Tony co-hosts the podcast there weekly about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, despite a disappointing season over there. Jeez, Tony, you're holding on.
It's been really disappointing. And I tell you what, there's a lot of talk about Brian Kelly right now, whether or not his job is on the line. And because the Irish faithful are not happy, as you can well imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 4 weeks ago, they were saying about college football that there might be 2 interesting job positions open. Now there's looking like 5 or 6.
I know. But the thing about the way Washington has turned that program around, and I've seen a former coach of mine that was at Notre Dame when I was there, Gene Smith. He was the defensive line coach at Notre Dame. Well, he's the athletic director right now at Ohio State.
Wow.
And I've seen him turn that program around. I mean, right now, Ohio State, their program has the kind of respect around the country that they had when Woody Hayes was the head coach. They would always have one of the top three programs in the country every year.
I remember.
And Ohio State right now is back to that point to where they have that much respect. They're right up there with Alabama, year in and year out, as having the top program. So kudos to my former defensive line coach, Gene Smith from Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if the Buckeyes win that Michigan game, they're going to be in the championship series. They're going to be in the playoffs. So
I would agree.
That's a heck of a nice story over there in college football, unlike the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, which, as I said previously, Tony co-hosts here at thegrumblingtruth.net. My name's Oz Davis. You can catch me on many different podcasts, especially this week, Tony. I've done like 6 or 7 this week. It's insane.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm covering for everybody. I've never watched so much football in my life. It's getting out. My kids are growing up. I don't even notice.
I tell you, I enjoy watching football. I enjoy talking about football. And when you guys gave me the opportunity to do it, I jumped at it because this is something I love to do. I'd be doing it anyway. So
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, me too. The Grumbling Truth gives me an outlet to talk football. It's great. So you'll be back on the Rams 2.0 show next week, Tony?
Yeah. I believe we are scheduled for Wednesday of next week.
Okay.
I think yeah.
So, for Tony Hunter, I'm Oz Davis, and you have been listening to the Rams 2.0 weekly show here at thegrumblingtruth.net, where the legends speak. Talk to you next week.
I'm not going 7-9. Okay?